Okay guys, welcome back. We're gonna be working on these cabinets again. Today is the day I'm finally gonna finish. Wanted to finish the other day, but ran out of time. So off camera, I went ahead and cut a piece of wood for here and the control panel, okay? I had some scraps left over that were all odd shaped and everything, so I used my track saw and my square, and I squared everything off and recut them until they were square, and I put them in here. So now we can cut out our monitor hole in this piece of wood, and then we have to put some brackets on the back side to hold the monitor in place. And then after that, you know, I'll do one on camera, get the other one done, and then after that we can work on the control panels. And I want to get both of those done today. As far as what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the control panel that comes in the box, we're going to take the buttons and joysticks off of it, we're going to cut that Lexan into 2 squares, and we are going to router them into this 3/4 inch wood. So basically those are about a 1/4 inch thick. So we'll take those pieces, lay them on here, square them up, trace them out with a marker. Then I'm going to take my router and we're just going to route out this wood a 1/4 inch deep so that we can set that in there. But we also have to cut a square hole out of this wood, okay? So basically what I'm saying is, try to explain it by possibly showing you. I could also show you when we do it later, but I figured I'd give you a brief explanation. Hopefully it helps. So basically, if we take this, and let's say we cut this right here, right in the dead center, and then we straighten it, and we straighten it here, okay? So we need to cut out, in the wood itself, we need to do a cutout like right here, here, and here, okay? But the plexiglass is gonna go past the cutout of the wood, maybe a 1/2 inch, I'm hoping at least. Then I'll do like a 1/2 inch router around the edges, and then this will drop into that recessed area, and then the wood will be missing in the center. And that's where the buttons can fall through, you know, they can be in there, and the wood won't be in the way of them. So hopefully that makes sense, but I'll show you when we do it, obviously. It'll make more sense once you see me do it than trying to explain it like that. So let's work on the monitor first, figure this out. I need to get a measurement of this monitor, exact measurement of the monitor now. Let me grab my tape measure, which is right here. So I know that this thing is just under 14.5 by 24 1/8. So 24 1/8 by 14.5, we'll say. So 24 1/8, 14 1/2, and I'll put an LT after it, which means 14.5 light. We're gonna go a little bit under 14.5, probably a 1/16 under. So I know that when I gave him the measurements for the artwork, that I had told him 6 inches down from the top is where I wanted the monitor to start. And then obviously we need to center it right to left. So we have 24 1/8, and this is 26. So 1/2 of 26 is 13. Okay, so 1/2 of 24 1/8 is 12 1/16. 12 1/16. That is 1/2 of the width. So we're going to go 12 1/16. Okay, now rather than going 12 1/16 this way, we're going to go from this mark that I just made here, which is 24 1/8, and we're going to come over here and make the mark then. Okay, and I can run my hand down this cabinet and get a nice straight edge. That's just because I've done that a lot of times. So now we need to come down 14.5 light. So we're going to be a 1/16 under 14.5. So basically 14 7/16, because 8/16 would be a 1/2. And then I had told him on the bottom the artwork was about 6 inches, which it's about 9 inches. So hopefully they make it oversized and it'll work. But guess we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I'll actually message him today and see if it's printed yet or not, because that would be a real quick, easy adjustment if it's not printed yet. So once I get this drawn, we need to cut this out. Okay, now I need my straight edge for the right and the top and bottom. The reason why I'm using a full piece of wood here is to make it strong, and I'm only using 1/8 inch plexiglass or Lexan over top of this screen. Plus the screen has a surround on it, you know, a little surround where the screen goes. So when I put the sheet of plexiglass over here, I have to mark where that is so that I can cut the artwork off where the plastic stops and the screen starts, rather than cutting it to this size. Okay, so that's what I need to cut out. This one, I might just freehand it because I don't think I want to set the track saw up for this. Let me get it out of the cabinet first. Like I said, I'm just going to freehand this with the circular saw. These cuts do not need to be perfect. Grab my jigsaw. So what I'm going to do is take the monitor, flip it upside down onto these two 2x4s and see if it slides through that hole. And it's okay if it's a hair big. Perfect. So if you look closely, this monitor is about 3/4 of an inch thick, about the same thickness as the wood itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cleats of wood, mount one here. It'll get screwed into this part here. Just going to overlap down here, and then I'll probably I can't put one on the sides because of the cleats are in the way, but I can put one here and here. And then what I do is These cleats that are held in here with screws, I do not glue those. Okay, those stay unglued. I just have 4 screws in there, and then I put some double-sided tape on the back of the monitor, and it holds it to the cleat itself. So then if you ever need to change the monitor, because let's say the monitor breaks or something happens, so all you gotta do is take those screws out of the cleat and that whole assembly will come out. Then you gotta pry the monitor off the double-sided tape, which usually isn't too bad. Sometimes you gotta take a knife or something like that and cut it off. But that's gonna be the easiest way. That's how I always mount these. It's the easiest way to mount these things. Now, one other thing I need to do. If you look over here, which the monitor is currently upside down. It is, but it isn't. I can use the other side of the board, which is fine. So if you look right here closely, in there, you can see there's the buttons. The buttons are on the bottom of this monitor, okay? Now, if I do not notch this little bit of wood here a little bit wider, where the buttons are, those buttons are gonna get they're gonna get pushed, and it's gonna screw up the monitor, you know what I mean? Because the monitor is gonna be sitting on those buttons, and it's always gonna want to screw up what's going on. So I'm gonna take my marker here, and I'm going to make a little relief here, big enough that I could stick an index finger in there from the back side of the cabinet if they or me needed to get to the monitor adjustments. So I'm going to pull the monitor out. We're going to cut this out with a jigsaw right here, and then we can make some cleats for this and get it in there. So we're just going to take this jigsaw and cut this out. Okay, now we know that we can get to the monitor. So now I need to make some cleats, which I'm gonna have to cut some. Like here's a piece we can use. It's cut crooked, I'll straighten it. And we can't have the cleat go past here because the cleats that are on the cabinet itself, this will hit it if we do. So I'm going to cut this back here. And I'm going to get my table saw out for these, just so I can straighten them. The thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them to length with the circular saw. Nothing big. And this doesn't have to be perfect. It's all we're doing is making a cleat to hold the monitor. Now I'm cutting 2 of them right now, and these are going to be, both of these are going to be the tops for each cabinet. Now I'm just going to go right there so that I can get rid of this tapered cut. Okay, now we have them for both cabinets. We can mount the one on this one. I'll put the other one off to the side, because I'll be doing that one off camera. I want to get all the dust off behind the cleat, because if you don't, the dust will fall onto the screen. Grab my drills. And we're just eyeballing this. We don't have to be perfect with it. Okay, now we got to make 2 more cleats for the bottom, which are going to be, these are just going to be like little rectangles, nothing huge. We're going to keep the fence where it's at. Got 4 perfect squares, 2 for this monitor, 2 for the other one. Gonna measure where they need to go. Real quick. 7.5. 16. 7.5 is the center, 16 is the other center. Gonna grab a couple more screws. I went and picked up another box of screws this morning. I had to do a bunch of running around. I got all my prizes, my 2 giveaway prizes on the other channel. I got those mailed out, and then I got the one mailed out on this channel. My other box of screws out of the van. This cabinet's going to need a thorough cleaning before I can even start putting everything in it. I'm going to have to wipe it all down with glass cleaner and everything else. So now, let's stick this back up in place and put a screw or 2 in it, and we'll make sure the monitor fits. And if you look up here, this is a hair out farther than the T-molding, okay? But once I put the T-molding in there, there'll be plexiglass, the 1/8 inch Lexan rather, and then I'll pound the T-molding in, and that'll kind of go right up to the edge of it. And I've been double-sided siding taping monitors in these style cabinets for a long time, and I've never had one fall out. Okay, let's just try the monitor with 2 screws in. Hitting on something here. Ah, there's a center rib I'm hitting on. This rib right here I'm hitting on. So I need to move it over here. So this block needs to go that way a tiny bit. It did not account for that. Okay, so the only other thing is this bottom's hanging out, but the top is perfectly flush, okay? So what we need to do is shim out those bottom blocks with like a paint stick or something, because clearly the bottom of the monitor is thicker than the top. So, go grab a couple paint sticks and we'll shim this out. Just took a paint stick on the table saw and cut it to the same width as the blocks. Draw around the block so I know exactly where it sits. I'm going to have to use 1 5/8" screws now. Nice and tight. Now, from doing this enough, if my calculations are right, it should be perfect now. The bottom of the monitors always seem to be a little fatter than the tops. I could have took the router and routered that out, but it's quicker just to add a little strip of wood. Okay, try it again. These are actually nice looking monitors. They're called X Gaming. Actually, this side feels good. This side is off a little bit. This side's perfect. So why is this side giving me a little bit of an issue? Oh, okay. This one needs to go in a little bit. So let me do that off camera. The good thing is once this one's set, the other one I can make identical. Now the screws protruded through the front a very, very minor amount. So we'll have to take the grinder and grind that off a little bit. But I didn't want to use those 1¼ inch screws because I was afraid that it was going to not be long enough. I almost wonder if I should get a piece of like 1-inch T-molding for here, so that it hangs down the plexia here, and then I can just cut the top part flush. I might order some 1-inch, just like, I don't know, you got to buy it, I think a 20-foot roll. But maybe I'll just buy a piece of black for up there. I'll look at the artwork and see what color it is. Yeah, I'll probably just do black. But I'm almost thinking 1 inch might be kind of cooler, because then it'll grab that top edge of that plexiglass. I'm going to use really, really thin, I keep saying plexiglass, it's actually Lexan. Lexan is much, it's a lot better product than plexiglass. It doesn't scratch as easy, it's easier to polish out, and it doesn't crack like plexiglass. So I don't know why I keep saying plexiglass. It's actually Lexan. Sell it at Lowe's. They sell a 28 by 30 inch piece. This is 30 inches here, and it's 28 wide, so I need to cut 2 inches off of it. I believe it's like 40 some bucks a sheet, so I gotta buy 2 of those. But yeah, I think I'm gonna order some 1-inch T-molding. I'm gonna go on Amazon probably, because it'll get here the quickest. I don't expect having the artwork probably this weekend, but I don't know. I have not talked to the guy in a few days. Still a little bit hung out right there. The only other thing I could think of is this sort of tapers this way as it goes higher up, so maybe I should lower the block down a little bit. This is how this first one's going to go. It's just trial and error, but once I get this figured out, that one's a breeze. I actually lowered both of them. Take 4. All right, seriously, what's going on here? This is one piece. I'm gonna have to shave the back of the block off a little bit. I don't want to shim it out anymore. It's beautiful except for that one little corner. It's only out like I don't know, 1/8 inch at the most. Guess I'll grab my multi-tool and cut it back. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. The plastic just must be molded different on the one side of the back of the monitor than the other. It's the only thing I can come up with. Take 5. Got it. Now it's beautiful. Actually, I might even take a hair off of this side so that it matches that side. I would rather the monitor be in a hair, because I'm going to put 1/16 inch thick double-sided tape on the back side. So once that double-sided tape goes on, then it's going to be exactly flush with the wood. And then the Lexan, I said it right this time, the Lexan is going to get double-sided tape to the piece of wood, but I'm going to use really, really thin tape for that, and that stuff is like a 32nd of an inch thick. So that'll keep everything nice and flat. I'm happy with that. I can grab this lip about an 1/8 inch. I'm happy with that now. So if you look closely at this monitor, this is going to be a long video, by the way, guys, because I need to do the control panel. That's going to be a bit of work, I think. But I'll do this one off camera next, and then I'll come back and we'll do the control panels. And then we'll mount the marquee light up there. And then I think at that point, I'm ready for artwork and then to get this thing wired up. But anyways, I need to grab my grinder, take this monitor back out, and I want to grind these heads down. You're never going to see any of that. It's hidden behind the plexiglass. Lexan, damn it. If you look here closely to the monitor, you can see like there's a different color line right there, and that's where the screen starts. Okay, so when I put my artwork on, I need to take my artwork and it's going to go on the outside of the Lexan, and it's going to come down, and I'm going to cut it to that line there. Same thing down here. I'm going to cut it right to the top edge of this plastic. Okay, and then on the sides here, same thing, right to that line on the monitor. So that'll all be artwork. So that's going to cover this whole cut. You're never going to see that cut because it's going to be behind the Lexan, and then the artwork's going to overhang onto the monitor right here, just enough to cover those edges that are not going to be lit up for gameplay. But I'll tell you what, it's a pretty nice looking monitor. I hope it looks good. I looked them up. They were $100 a piece. No, I think it was a 2-pack. I think it was like 109. Yeah, probably 200 with tax and stuff. So not a bad deal. If they look good, you know, that'll be awesome. The only thing I worry about with some of these monitors is sometimes when you get a side view, they don't look good. And I know they make different monitors that will look better for side view. And I don't know, I would imagine because they call this a gaming monitor that it probably should look pretty damn good from all angles. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the IPS has something to do with that or not. I'm not sure. And I don't understand what eye protective is. I don't know what that means. Maybe because it has like non-glare on it, but it's going to be shinier once I put that Lexan over it, but it's all right. Yeah, it doesn't really, I don't know. I mean, it says X gaming, and then it says 27-inch FHD office monitor with 100 hertz refresh rate. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be just fine for the Pandora box. I don't see it being an issue at all. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. I'm sure it'll be, like I said, just fine. All right, I'm going to get the other one mounted off camera. I'm going to grind these screw heads down. I'll just do that off camera too. I'm just going to grab my grinder and grind them flat. And then I'm going to take the monitor out before I do that, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to get that other one cut, screwed in. I got to put another screw here, and then I'm going to put one screw down here. So I'm going to get this board completely screwed in because it's not coming back out. And then I'll do that one, get that one completely screwed in, and then we'll be ready to do the control panels, which once again, I'll do one on camera, and then I'll come back and show you what they both look like. And then we'll do the monitor or the marquee light. And then at that point, I'm just got to do some body work to the control panels, and it'll be ready for assembly and artwork. Okay, both monitors are done, screwed in, ready to go. Now I'm going to start taking apart this control panel. So what I did was I took a piece of paper and I wrote down the colors, where they went. I just did a drawing because I'm going to have to unplug the wires from the buttons so that I can take the buttons out. So the first thing I need, I'm just going to go ahead and unplug them all now that I have it labeled. Then we can pop the buttons out for now. I don't have to worry about the joystick because those just unplug. Actually, I can probably just leave those plugged in, grab my drill, and just take the screws out of the back of the joystick. Just put the screws in the bottom of this. Okay, unscrew our hinge first here. Okay, now we can pop our buttons out. We just have to squeeze in the tabs. Okay, pick up the button I dropped. Peel off this artwork. Oh, nice. That's how the nuts are held in for the, which is fine. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Put them back in afterwards. Hopefully I don't forget. Man. Ugh. Now, I kind of want to save these so that I can use the coin player 1 and player 2 in the play button. So I have to see if I can put that somewhere where it's not going to get messed up. Guess I can always print new ones if I needed to. Okay, this is all apart now. So now what I want to do is cut it in the middle. So we need to measure that. So let's get our width measurement here. We're at 17 3/4. So 8 1/2 and 8 1/2 is 17. 8 3/8. Okay, that's considered the center point. But I think I need to go over a little bit more. A little bit off-centered. Okay, I think I'm going to cut this with my miter box. I think that's going to be my best bet, I hope. Hopefully it doesn't shatter. Let's use the table saw instead. And try not to put pressure on this side because you can bind it up and it'll kick back at you. So I'm just trying to hold it. Okay. They are a little different in size from one side to the other. Okay, 2 more cuts and we're done with cutting them square. Oh, this one's got to go farther. All right, now let's hold this up here and see what we think. So this is the top side. This is the top side. See, now we can get these in here, spread them apart, and it'll be a little bit nicer. Gives the people more room to play. See, you just got to modify things when you have to. You just got to do what you got to do to make something right. So let's say 2 1/4 by 1 1/2. I think here. That feels pretty good. So let's see what this side looks like the same way. Beautiful. I like that placement. So now we will take our marker, go around the outer edge here. Now these are two different sizes, not by much, but by a little bit. So I'm gonna go on the back side here. It doesn't matter where I mark it. I'll put left, LT. It's my left side one. Okay, now we need to bring this in, the wood. Okay, so this gets cut out. That little rim gets routed a 1/4 inch down till these fit flush into there. And then I will probably glue them in there. Not sure what kind of glue yet, but it'd probably be smart if I glued them in there, let them dry, and then do a little Bondo work around them. So let's cut out the 2 squares. These don't have to be perfectly straight. Nobody's ever going to see them. Okay, let me go get my router with a bit. Okay, I got a 1/2 inch router bit in here, and we're going to take our piece of plexi, just put it through one of the holes, And then we're going to adjust this bit. I think that's good. So now we're going to carefully router around it. Now, if I router past my line a little bit, it's not a big deal. I'm going to put a little Bondo on there, so if I go past it a little bit and the groove's a little bit wider, it'll get Bondoed in. Like I said, it doesn't look real pretty. I'm not going for pretty here. I'm just trying to get it to fit, and we'll Bondo it in afterwards. Okay, this is the left side. I might have to do a little bit more. Okay, this corner right here needs done. This is the edge that matters. That's got to be straight. Everything else doesn't matter. Perfect. So it feels real good. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other one off camera and then I'll come back. Okay, they are routered. I'm gonna use silicone to hold these in. You don't want to put a ton. God, this stuff stinks. Certain silicones like burn your nostrils compared to others, and I don't know why. What the deal is with that. Ugh. Okay. I put my tape measure at. There it is. Beautiful. We're good there. So these are going to dry. Then I will sand around here. We'll put a little bit of fiberglass, short strand of fiberglass around here, and then sand that down. And then we'll just probably just put a little spray paint on here. And then the control panel overlay will go over top, cut out our holes, and we'll be good to go. So that's pretty much how that's going to work, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I'm going to do the other one off camera. Oh, you know what? Let's do the marquee lights real quick, and then we'll end the video. I got to cut the grass. I never got to it yesterday. It started literally, no joke. I went out there to start cutting the grass and it started drizzling. I'm like, what the hell? So I never got it cut yesterday. So I got to get it done. It's 6 o'clock at night. I got about 2 hours before it's dark. Usually it takes about 3 hours to cut the grass. So should be able to get it done somehow. I don't have lights on my zero turn, so don't know what I'm going to do. You know what, let's just leave this for the next video because I better get out there. That's not a big deal. We'll do that when we're hooking up all the wiring and stuff. But basically, we're done now. I mean, I just got to do that other one. I'll do that after I get done cutting the grass. And then the next step will be I got to get the artwork because I can't put the control panel together until I have the artwork. I mean, the only other thing I could do this weekend, unless I get the artwork, is put the marquee lights in, cut the plexiglass, and put the power strip and stuff in. Other than that, I'm pretty much up on a hold off. And I think I'm going to put 2 more leg levelers on these cabinets because I had to put those other ones in front by the wheel, and it wants to rock backwards pretty darn easy like that. And I don't like that, so I'm going to add 2 more leg levelers on the very back edge on both cabinets, and that'll stop that from happening. So that's going to end this video, guys. This is part 4. We are almost done with this project. The hard stuff is now done. From now on, it should be pretty easy. Like I said, I'm going to order some 1-inch T-molding, I believe, for that top up there. So if you guys are really liking these videos, please like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up. Hitting the thumbs up gets it to more people. Supposedly, that's what YouTube says. So the more thumbs up you guys give me, hopefully it'll reach out to more people and we'll get closer to the 10,000 mark, and we're going to have another giveaway. Somebody had sent me a message about a giveaway, and they said, hey, why don't you make like a cool light up arcade sign or something like that? On my other channel, I made a bar sign and it lit up. And I thought that was actually a really cool idea. If you guys go to my other channel, you can see it, a bar sign, and it would be kind of cool to do that. You know, if you look here, like this is different than what I'm doing for that I did for the bar sign, but these are metal letters, okay? They're pretty nice. And it would probably be pretty cool if I made an arcade sign out of that, painted them red maybe, and then outlined them in yellow or white or something, and then put lights in them and have them light up. That'd be a pretty cool giveaway. Be a pretty big package to ship, but I don't mind. I mean, if I can hit that 10,000 mark. So if you guys please share, like I said, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs up if you could on all my videos. That would really help out. And then we'll get to that 10,000 mark. And I very well might do that. That actually seems pretty cool. Something that's actually like custom made, not store-bought. Something that I put effort into, you know what I mean? Not like just something I went on the computer, like when I bought the Dig Dug game. I just bought the Dig Dug game, you know, versus me hand making something from pretty much just some metal letters and wiring and paint and everything else. So let me know what you guys think of that too. Other than that, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow on this channel. Not sure. I really need to get on this wall on my other channel. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.